What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of F1 2016 Mobile Career Mode. Today we have episode number 80 for the Russian Grand Prix in Season 6. Check out the last episode if you missed it. That took place at the Hungarian Grand Prix. There's some footage from that video on screen now, and I'm going to spoil it, so if you haven't seen it, 3, 2, 1, spoiler alert. We ended up winning the race against all the odds, actually. That's normally a very strong track for my teammate Lewis Hamilton. We got the strategy right, and I just about managed to survive having my wing taken out by any back markers, although I did get very agitated during that race because they just weren't getting out of the way, just weren't complying with blue flags at all. Although we managed to hold on for a win, and that means that we've regained the championship lead by just 2 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton today, heading into this race in Sochi. Today marks the halfway point of the season, roughly, so hopefully we come into this race with some pretty good form with 2 consecutive wins. Let's try and keep that going.
We are in Russia, in the scenic Black Sea resort of Sochi, where this purpose-built track is described as one of the most impressive tracks on the Formula One calendar. Welcome to the Russian Grand Prix.
Not an ideal start to the weekend, as my first lap was invalidated in Q1, and that was that. But Ferrari have saved me and posted a fantastic front row lockout, Vettel ahead of Raikkonen, and then my teammate Lewis Hamilton. So hopefully Hamilton's got his work cut out for him to try and get past both of the red cars. In terms of strategy for today, I'm actually going to be brave and go for a 2-stop, starting on the soft tyres. Cockpit mode is also back for this race. 5 red lights are out, and we're underway for the Russian Grand Prix. Looks like not a bad start off the line. You might notice I'm weaving a bit. I wasn't used to the sensitivity being so high after I'm used to monoposto. For this game, I run quite a high steer sensitivity, which after running on monoposto for a while I hadn't really been used to. As we head into turn 1, just trying to stay out of any trouble if we can, although it's a lot harder to see, I find, given this very kind of narrow field of view here that you get in cockpit cam, although I am up into P16, make that P15 as Ericsson now goes around the outside and Palmer as well. So I was completely squeezed out by Daniel Kvyat a couple of corners ago. The Russian driver then proceeds to go wide. There's all sorts of shenanigans that's going on here. I'm just trying to keep my front wing intact. That's the best I can do at the end of the day. But it looks like a pretty good start, although now I just get completely squeezed out. That is not what we like to see as we're heading up. What's going on in front? There's a yellow flag. It's Hamilton! Hamilton spun round on the right hand side. It's a disaster for my teammate. He started third. He was miles ahead of me. Spun out on the opening lap, and he's now behind me. What an absolute nightmare for my championship rival. That is not what he needed to start his afternoon, as I'm going around the outside of Palmer, then getting squeezed out. Kvyat's weaving a bit on the back straight, so hopefully we can try and dispatch the Russian driver quickly. Looks like we are going to, and we're up into P14, so great start. 8 places gained as we head towards the end of lap 1. That's the corner cutting warning there. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure what Jenson Button was going to do, but I have managed to displace him, thankfully. As we're now moving on to the end of the lap, we've got Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen both in the crosshairs. I don't know what they're going to do. It looks like I might actually try and go for the dive bomb. They're a little bit offset there. That's a lovely 2-for-1 special into turn 1. Up into P11, and might even be P10 here, as Marcus Ericsson was a little bit slow. He got a poor exit, did the Swede. We're going to try and go up the inside as we head through the turn 3 kink, and it looks like, are we going to hold on to it round the outside? Yes, we are. That's a nice move, and we're into the points already, and it's only taken me 2 laps to do so. Kimi Raikkonen up next. Been a dismal start for the Iceman, given he started in P2. So I'm not quite sure what's wrong with that Ferrari. We're going to try and go round the outside. We're going to get that move done, as we've got Ricciardo and Bottas battling now through the next section of the track. So we're actually making really handy progress. Raikkonen tries to send it up the inside. Ricciardo displaces Bottas. We're going to overtake the Flying Finn now as well. Are we going to try and hold on round the outside? No, don't get left enough room have to take to the escape road, and unfortunately Valtteri is going to get back through. However, are we going to come under pressure from any of the other drivers behind? No, it doesn't look like it. We're just going to re-overtake the Williams driver once again. The AI being a bit bugged there on the back straight, although Raikkonen has just completely mugged me. Fair play, he's gone round the outside. Ricciardo goes wide, he gets spun completely! Ricciardo! What on earth has just happened there? It's like Monza 2021 between Hamilton and Verstappen, and remarkably, the Honey Badger somehow remained in front of me, even though his car was tilted at 45 degrees. Oh my word, I dread to think what would have happened if that had happened in real life. That could have been an awful crash without the halo. That could have potentially been Rosberg losing his head. Because now I'm going to pit at the end of lap 5. I said I'm going for a 2-stop. I stand by that because the progress has been good. And we've been on the harder compound of tyres. So it's the first of 2 stints on the super soft tyres. I'm not going to change the setup because the balance seems to be working quite well. Decent pit stop. Thankfully not really any pit lane glitch this time, unless you count this bit on the pit exit, but this always happens for everybody, so therefore it's just effectively an extra pit limiter. So it is going to cost me a bit of time. Where are we going to come out of the pit lane? We're going to be behind Marcus Ericsson. Are we going to be ahead of Harry Amto? I really need to be. It looks like we are. Okay, so that's good. So P16. We've got work to do, but thankfully there's still 7 laps to go in this Grand Prix, so we're not down and out of it just yet, and we're going to be super quick now because we're on the super soft tyres. So hopefully I can try and make some light work of these drivers, starting off with the Sauber, who goes wide. We're going to fly past, and we're already up into P15 in this Russian Grand Prix. So let's get after Grosjean. He's about 10 seconds down the road, although the pit's at the end of the lap. Button comes out of the pits and swerves suddenly, so I have to switch it to a dive bomb there. Didn't really plan on going for that move, but we digress. I guess it was necessary. We have now caught up to Grosjean. He's trapped behind Sebastian Vettel, the pole man, down in P9, and that's another 2-for-1 special down at turn 1. So what I want to know is who is winning this Grand Prix, because it's neither the Ferraris. Hamilton's behind me. We're going to try and send it on Gutierrez. Bottas is a lap down. He's completely getting in the way. Gutierrez manages to go around the outside. We're going to try and overtake the Mexican driver, but I've now got a penalty for corner cutting. I've got to be honest, that one's really harsh. I feel like there was nothing I could have done then. I had to take evasive action, otherwise I was going to get hit. The Haas driver's going to run off, and that's going to gift me P8. So, yeah, that is not ideal now, because we've been hit with an extra milestone, a 2-second penalty. We are going to slide past Palmer. Here's Hamilton. He's not pitted. Somehow, he can make his super soft tyres last 9 laps. I don't get how. We are going to slide down the inside of my teammate though. We're going to be a whole pit stop ahead of him because Lewis is actually going to pull into the pit lane right now, and there he goes. So my teammate's into the lane. There's somebody else who's in the pit lane as well, so that's going to push me up into the top 5. Fernando Alonso in the crosshairs. The tyre wear is starting to kick in, so I am considering making another pit stop soon to change my tyres. We've got Felipe Nasr up next, who is a lap down. Well, we do get past the Spanish driver, but we send it on the Brazilian, and Alonso then gets the cutback. Fernando Alonso is really holding me up here. This is not what I need, so this is another reason for me to dive into the pit lane now to make sure I'm not losing any more time behind that McLaren, who is going to be going to the end of the race as he is on the medium compound of tyre, the hardest compound on offer this weekend. We've dived into the lane for the second time for the final 3 laps on the super soft tyres. Out we come of the pit lane, 25 seconds, no pit lane glitch once again, as I said before, unless you count this bit. And look at the steering wheel, looks like we're going to be in P8, P9, Gutierrez goes through. Is there going to be anybody else, or is it going to be out in P9? Looks like it is going to be 9th place. 2 points against our name, as we do just about stay ahead of Felipe Massa, although the Brazilian is going to come wheel to wheel. He might even try and inch ahead there on the exit. We're going to go wheel to wheel all the way around through turn 3. Who's going to have the inside line for the next corner? It's going to be me. I'm going to brake early. The Brazilian flies around the outside, goes wide. I just about avoid him on the exit there, and we do manage to keep hold of our P9. So we've gone from the back of the grid. We've now got 2 points against our name at worst. That's providing there's no more incidents. Gutierrez is going a bit slowly. I'm going to wait. I'm going to try and bide my time with this because I have got pretty good pace, especially on these fresh tyres. So that means I will be able to go after some drivers ahead and wait for him to make an error like that. And then I'm right there to pounce. So Kvyat is next. He's a lap down in his home race, although he does jump out of the way nicely, and we can move on. Although we've now moved on to the final lap of the race, unfortunately I haven't managed to gain any more positions, though I am pushing for the fastest lap. But Max Verstappen has won the Russian Grand Prix. That is a first time winner in this entire career mode, apart from when I was driving as him, but that doesn't count. What a race this has been. This has had everything. A shock in qualifying, a shock first time winner, incidents galore, my teammate being spun out, my driver literally nearly losing his head. While all that was happening, we've just overtaken Magnussen and Grosjean because they were battling with a lapped car. I am also pushing for the fastest lap on the last lap. I've got to beat a 1:36.6 that I also set. Grosjean was trying to come back at me there, although he's going to have no success in doing so. So we are going to hold on to P6. We go around the outside of Perez and Wehrlein, both a lap down. Perez, of course, second place here in Season 3, I believe, when Esteban Gutierrez won. So maybe this is track for new race winners. What a race that is for Red Bull. Verstappen has won after starting from 4th. And as both the Ferraris, well, Raikkonen's only P5, Vettel was nowhere. From last on the grid, though, we recovered to P6, which stays as P6 with our penalty added on. What a crazy Grand Prix that was. There are the results. It was Verstappen from Sainz and Hülkenberg. What a podium that is. Alonso holds on for P4, then it's Kimi Raikkonen, and then myself in P6. Romain Grosjean was at P7 for Haas, followed by Kevin Magnussen, Jolyon Palmer and Esteban Gutierrez. Hamilton only 13th, Ricciardo only 14th, Vettel from pole down to 15th place. What a nightmare for him. Valtteri Bottas, foot of the grid again, in what on paper is the third best car in this game. He's not scored a point yet and we're halfway through the season. What is going on with him this season? We shall never know. However, in the championship, despite what happened in qualifying, we've actually managed to extend our lead because we scored 8 further points. Hamilton scored nothing, so we now lead by 10 points. Max Verstappen's jumped up to 4th and very nearly into 3rd with that result today. So that's really helped his and Red Bull's championship in terms of going after Ferrari. In the Constructors, we are miles clear. There is no problem with us, I think, restoring our title. Yeah, it's all good. In the Constructors, we're sitting pretty, and at the Drivers as well. And as we head into the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, then the next race, this is the end of the European leg, the start of the Asian and Middle Eastern leg of the season. We are in some great form at the moment in terms of beating Hamilton. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord server. Both links are in the description below. And I'll see you all in the next video.